Good evening. Thank you for attending WeGro's AMA on this March 3rd, 2020. Our hearts go out to the people of Ukraine, and we hope that tonight will be edifying and fun and interesting and joyous in light of the plight of what's going on in the world. So excited to be here with my partner in crime, the lovely Rachel Amin.
Hey everybody, I'm super excited too because we're doing something a little bit different tonight, and we've got some new speakers who have all kinds of stuff to fill us in on, and so much has changed and happened in the last week is what I'm trying to spit out. So with no further ado, Todd, I'm gonna let you basically introduce everyone that's on the screen right now.
Absolutely. I'm super excited to do that. And we're going to get a little housekeeping out of the way first. So in accordance with our legal counsel, the statements, opinions, and analyses presented in tonight's AMA are provided as general information only. Any opinions, estimates, probabilities expressed are merely a snapshot of today's disposition and marketplace and are subject to change without notice. While all the information prepared in tonight's presentation is believed and intended to be 100% accurate, the presenters and hosts make no express guarantee as to the completeness or accuracy of the information shared. As such, information contained in tonight's AMA broadcast should not be construed as forward-looking statements pursuant to any projected earnings, profits, or investment advice for making purchasing decisions. With that said, I'm really happy to introduce our co-founder, president of WeGro Coin, a 20+ year entrepreneur and a very successful person with not only in the crypto business, but in the complementary alternative medicine business. And that's Mr. Sean Crawford.
Yes.
Sean, you're looking good tonight. Your crisp white WeGro cap. Thank you, brother. You got your cap dry cleaned, I can see. We're also really excited to have Sean's co-partner in crime, co-founder, CEO, has a very storied career in the world of publishing and as well as alternative medicine. He's a renowned speaker and very successful technologist as well, Mr. Walt Rampada.
How's everybody doing?
Thank you, Walt. And we also have 3 distinguished guests tonight. They are not only crypto enthusiasts, alternative medicine enthusiasts, but they are our 3 moderators within the realms of our social media platforms, such as Telegram, TikTok, and many others. I'm so excited to introduce Joe Brown, who's a great advocate of WeGro. Say hi, Joe.
Thank you, Todd. Hi, everybody.
I always mistake him, everybody, for either Mike McDonald or Peter Cetera, formerly of Chicago. I'm sure he gets a lot of autograph requests on that note. I'm also excited to introduce Jacob the Great, Jacob Speak. Jacob is also an amazing moderator and a crypto enthusiast, and I can't wait to see his guitar. Say hi, Jacob.
Thank you. Hi, how's everybody doing?
And where are you hailing from tonight, Jacob? Are you in the great state?
I'm right outside of Dallas, Texas, and
fantastic.
Yeah, and I grew up in this area.
Excellent. So we are truly coast to coast, ladies and gentlemen, from LA to Texas to Georgia to Massachusetts to Maryland to Virginia. Gosh, it's a good feeling. We're all over the place. Last but not certainly least, the lovely Lisa Lawson. Lisa, again, an amazing advocate and person who is full of empathy and goodwill and has been doing an amazing job to fielding questions and helping to really be the glue out there in the Telegram group, one of our 3 moderators. So please welcome Lisa Lawson. Lisa, say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you so much. Have I missed anybody?
No, I think you got the whole crew.
Very good. Well, we're going to turn the mic over now back to Miss Amin. Rachel, why don't you start us off with the first rule of order and our agenda tonight?
Sure. So we're taking a little bit different path tonight. We have some moderators and some people who can speak to this in a little different way. But one of the reasons this is such an exciting night is because crypto is kind of popping up everywhere all of a sudden, out of the blue. Some places that we never thought even 6 months ago we would see crypto mentioned is being mentioned. Some of them in well, actually in all aspects of our lives. So, well, I'm going to let you talk about a few of them. We spoke about the Ukraine and things that are happening over there, and some tools they have using cryptocurrency, some of our media events, some of our big bankers who have changed their opinions. Jump in and fill us in on why we're suddenly seeing cryptocurrency everywhere.
Well, thank you, Rachel. We're seeing it everywhere because the inherent benefits of cryptocurrency and blockchain are now being realized on a world stage. It's deeply unfortunate what's happening in the Ukraine right now, but it's shining a huge spotlight on the use case for cryptocurrency and the fears that go around situations that the Ukraine is now sitting in. So you're seeing long lines at cryptocurrency ATM machines that in the Ukraine right now. People are doing what's called airdropping their family, their friends, associates inside of Ukraine funds so that they can live basically. And the thing of it is, it's instantaneous, it's immediate, and without any worries of it arriving. And in many ways, only the giver and the recipient are aware of that initial a transaction. So the ability for them to assist their friends, their family in these situations is showing its use case on the world stage. Even more interesting, or not more interesting than that, but also relevant, is the things that we're starting to see with those people who are directing some of the largest money pockets in the world. Ken Griffin, the fund man, the founder and originator of Citadel Securities, one of the largest hedge funds in the world today, who for a very long time had choice words to say about cryptocurrency, has now changed that, has in many ways eaten his words, and is now taken a very large position in the cryptocurrency space. We're seeing, cryptocurrency is now becoming even mainstream to the extent that we're seeing commercials, for as weird as it was, the QR code commercial that aired during the Super Bowl, even just as recently as this morning, somebody mentioned it to me. For as goofy as it was people engaged with it. In fact, from what I understand, they shut down the servers in activating that QR code that night. But interestingly enough, where it, in that regard, it failed, unfortunately. But where it succeeded was that we're still to this day talking about it, interestingly enough. So cryptocurrency, the world of blockchain, W3, this wave that you've heard AJ talk about on previous AMAs is very quickly advancing. And this is not like, many people talk about this akin to the wave of the internet. And for those of us that rode that wave, it had very similar beginning feelings of that wave, but this wave is much bigger and much faster. And it's the speed at which things will change, in some respects, out of necessity. And again, to the point of what we're seeing happen on the world stage, it's putting this front and center in the minds of even those people who had no idea what cryptocurrency was 5 minutes ago. We talk about it on our AMAs. Only Only 5% of the world knows anything about this. This is now putting it on the world stage. So the adoption rate, the way things are going to change with usage of it, people's, even vague understanding of it is vastly going to change very quickly.
Wow. It's that Ukraine story I was saying earlier, it scares me a bit because, it hits home so fast how quickly you could have an emergency in your own life. And if you weren't real up to speed on how crypto work, or the loved one on the other end that needed that, they wouldn't know how to do it. So, the best advice I got from someone in my past was, once you let a technology pass you by, you're kind of obsolete. You really need to keep up with stuff. And sometimes, like this is one of the examples. It's one of the things I will be learning. It's not because I'm super into it. It's because it's coming and it's important. And I just wanted to make that point for anyone who's like, oh, it's a hobby, it's this, it's that. It's like, oh no, even in the last month, we've seen differently.
Agreed. And interestingly enough, the ruble today is less than a penny, worth less than a penny, making crypto a more stable choice for the Russian people. Interestingly enough. So again, with the world stage where we're sitting today, to see how the dynamics of this is shaping, you're seeing it come front and center very quickly. And interestingly enough, some of those that have poo-pooed it the most are now jumping on.
Great. Well, and I'm going to make my last point before I go on to one of these other interesting people who have so much more to say than I. But, other thing I love about WeGro, 7% of the last 7,000 cryptocurrencies that were introduced into the world last year, 7% have an asset behind them. And this is one of them. So asset behind it means it's something beyond a trend. It's beyond, a quick rug pull. This is about investing for a longer term opportunity. And that is what makes this different. Like 93% of the cryptocurrencies out there are not this. So that's why we have all these storied people with their great backgrounds. We don't have 12-year-olds who are talking about how they made their millions, because good luck to them, but we want some business behind it too. So we have a lot of business minds behind it. Some of them are so busy being business minds that they're not here tonight. So all is good in the WeGro front. But with that said, Todd, I'm going to turn it back over to you and see if you want to take on the next topic for us so that we stay keeping everyone engaged and everyone gets a chance to tell their cool story.
Absolutely, Rachel, thank you. No, as you aptly put, we have a sustainable business model that is community driven, B, earns reflections regarding all volume bidirectionally, and C, most importantly, when we look at the future, it's the democratization of one's personal data and creating blockchain industries that will allow physicians, patients, and a multiplicity of industries to really benefit. And that includes basically 95% of the world's marketplace. And that's all tied in and integrated into the world between crypto, blockchain, and data modeling and data attribution. And so obviously our typical subject matter experts, as Walt had mentioned, AJ and Rick are not here tonight. We'd like to just talk about some of the most often asked questions within social media channels, which is why we have our three wonderful moderators. And so with that, when we talk about reflections, one of our subject matter experts on that particular area is Sean Crawford. So Sean, if you don't mind, maybe addressing to those that are new to crypto, as well as those maybe are even brand new to WeGro and hearing about WeGro for the first time on this AMA, how the reflections play an integral part in the economy and the tokenomics of WeGro. Sean.
Sure, yeah, definitely. WeGro has some pretty interesting tokenomics. Kind of rewinding a little bit back to what Rachel said about the types of cryptocurrencies that are out there and ones that are missing asset bases. Well, with WeGro, the asset is you. That's what powers WeGro, is you, the community, you and the community around you. I should say. Whenever you do a transaction, whenever someone within the WeGro community does a transaction, there is an 8% crypto to crypto fee. 5% of that is immediately redistributed in the form of smart chain to all the holders. So if you hold WeGro, you're receiving smart chain reflections from every transaction that happens. So a real good reason to want to buy and hold on to WeGro. And the more you have, the more you get back. So 1% of that 8% goes directly into liquidity, raising the relative price floor. So kind of gives a steady increase to the amount of liquidity that goes in over time relative to the market. And the remaining 2% of the 8% transaction fee goes into the expansion of our ecosystem, which is more data companies, more supply chain companies, more point of sale companies, places where we can extrapolate data and have the community benefit as a whole, and a way to symbiotically benefit each other. So the more transactions that happen, the more data is collected, the more the holder sees and benefits from. So just from those transactions, the companies that we buy as a necessity for our WeGro, for the WeGro system, do a lot of transactions. The majority of transactions are settling in WeGro and holding WeGro balances, which raises the price relative to the market, as well as increases volume. And that increased volume increases the tokenomics that people see, the reflections that people see due to the tokenomics. Pretty cool stuff. And it's one of the things that makes WeGro unique in the crypto market space. Makes is a benefit to the community.
Well said.
Absolutely. And Sean, if you don't mind, I know that Joe and Lisa and Jacob have brought up from time to time when they're not seeing reflections, or even a brand new placeholder puts in a large stake. Why would they not see reflections in the same level one day versus the next? It might be considered basic for someone who's very experienced within crypto, but if someone's new in crypto, maybe you could edify them. And love to get your feedback, Lisa and Jacob and Joe, on those notes.
That's a great question, and we get asked this one a lot. So especially last week when everyone was really pulling out of crypto at the time, and we saw red all over the board from Ethereum, Bitcoin, Binance, all the major coins and tokens. A lot of them were all going down, and that's because people were taking money out of the marketplace, out of the crypto marketplace. So low volume when there's not a lot of transactions happening, which honestly really says a lot for our community and wanting to hold this token. Had there been big sell-offs, you would have saw reflections, but because people were holding WeGro. Because of the future prospect of WeGro, which I love and I do myself, the low volume will there won't be as many disbursements. So as the volume increases and the disbursements kind of build up there in the router, it's eventually, after it reaches a certain point, will trigger and then get sent out to everyone. So if you look up your wallet address on BSC scan, you'll see a lot of times in there, you'll see something that says WeGro DVT, which that is the tracking token that goes along with anytime you buy WeGro or sell it, that tracking token goes along with it. So a lot of times you'll see 2 WeGros in your wallet. You might not see that in Trust Wallet, but other wallets, you might see that DVT pop up. And that's a tracker that is telling the smart contract how much WeGro is in that specific wallet and how much reflections they should be receiving. So as the volume increases, like this week, you start seeing more of those reflections. So I know a lot of people were seeing those reflections, and very happy to see those this week. And that has a lot to do with a lot of people, the world stage adopting crypto and seeing it as a viable option, and the Rupee falling off and going under a penny, from 14 cents to under a penny. And a lot of people moving their funds over to crypto, and WeGro experiences that benefit there as well. So you'll see a lot more reflections as the volume continues to increase.
Cool.
Excellent. Thank you. Lisa.
I'd also like to add, though, on the reflections, one reminder is that, especially for those with slightly smaller wallets, it takes a little bit longer because they're sitting in that tracker, waiting until they can send it over without having all the fees eat up everything that would go. I know that's one of the ones we've fielded a few times, is I haven't seen it yet. And I know that's one of the big reasons, is that, you know, that reminder, guys, that they're coming, but we don't want to send it out to you and have nothing left.
Right.
So-
If it's $1.25 transaction fee and you have $1.25 worth of reflections at the time of the disbursement, it'll hold those until a time where it can send those without eating up the entire with all the reflections with the transaction fee.
Absolutely. So I know one of the big questions we've been getting asked in all of the social media outlets is, where is my value? It's still not showing in some of the wallets. Can you address that for us?
Yeah. And guys, I'm really sorry. We're doing everything we can to get this worked out with CoinMarketCap. Now, if you have MetaMask and you're looking at CoinGecko, they are reporting the API, and you do see the values in MetaMask. You can always populate your seed phrase from Trust Wallet onto a new MetaMask, and you'll start seeing the values there. In the meantime, just be patient with us with CoinMarketCap to get this worked out. We think that the low volume last week had a lot to do with it, and I think they just wanted to kind of watch the coin for a little bit to see the volume and the viability. You know, when we did this the last time, it was right as soon as we launched, and just the enormous adoption of WeGro and everyone kind of jumping into the coin really gave some huge volume, which we'll be back at again. But while we're last week when they were looking at it, there really wasn't a lot of volume. This week there is, so we're expecting another review of that tomorrow, hopefully. The correspondence that we've had with them seems to point towards tomorrow for another review. So let's hope that gets done. We are working on it, and it will happen soon. In the meantime, if you're growing patient, as I said before, definitely go for download MetaMask and populate your seed phrase in there. You'll have to enable the BSC in your or Binance chain in your MetaMask, and just Google search, how do I enable Binance or BNB in my MetaMask, and it'll walk you through it. Just inputting the network name, a couple things. It's fairly simple. So if you have any problems, definitely feel free to ask one of the mods, and we'll make that information available to them.
Thank you. Now, one more question that I have for you guys that kind of go together. One of them that we hear a lot is, when are we going to start staking? Followed by those who then ask, what is staking?
Right. Okay. Well, so we are working on an internal staking program that we will launch most likely with our wallet. That's where we're going to have the interface for that. In the meantime, I know that you could technically stake on PancakeSwap just by buying into liquidity, though. I know some of our guys have gone over to crypto.com or some of the other places and use WeGro tokens to stake on other platforms over there. So staking is it's like a pool. Basically, you're buying into a pool that pays dividends, if you want to kind of use the stock market as an example, it's like receiving dividends by holding your tokens in this pool. They're actually it's actually solving blockchain problems or transactions, really is what it's doing. It's solving transactions. And as it does that, those rewards, which are the network fees that you see, those go the miners or to the people who are staking. So the larger the pool that are staking their tokens, the more rewards. So the more you have staked, the more rewards you see. As you hold your tokens in there, the price will go up and down maybe, or hopefully it just keeps on going up. But those that's the game with staking is putting your tokens in, receiving those rewards for the amount of tokens in which you have staked, but then also, and that's in accordance with the percentage of the token that you own, of the pool that you have, I should say, and then receiving those rewards. Now, the good thing is with WeGro, it's a static reward system. So technically, you really are staking just by holding WeGro. You are receiving those rewards, and you are in a pool. So they're passive reflections, but we will open up a full-fledged staking program in conjunction with the wallet. Slight possibility we might do it before, but most likely it'll be in conjunction with the wallet. Don't hold me to make it testament quite yet. Give us the benefit of a little time on that, but it is coming and it is in our plans.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good.
That's
Jacob?
a hard act to follow. Who wants to go next? Good job. I'm going to pick on Jacob because I love to hear his voice.
Oh, thank
I've
you.
emailed back and forth with him and I'm like, who knew? Okay. So what's going on in your world?
Oh, not much. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for letting me be a part of the WeGo family and a part of the moderation team. It's a big part of my life, and I really enjoy it. And thanks for
Love
having
having
us
you.
on tonight. Yeah. So.
Yeah,
We
good to have
appreciate you.
Yeah, you stood out in there, and that's the reason why I think you're here. Your active
All right, cool.
participation and your knowledge and love for WeGro is great benefit to the whole community, and having some of the better, more enthusiastic people as forward facing for our company. That's what we subscribe to, and with you as well. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you. You're welcome.
What are
And,
people saying to you, Jacob? What do you
oh,
see in the streets?
we hear a lot of stuff, and so it's great being right in there with the community because we get to work with them hand in hand, but a lot of the questions are the same, and then we got some that are individual questions. But there's one guy named Rob Mc5 that's been asking some questions, and they're kind of technical a little bit. But I know Sean can probably cover this area too. But he's wanting to know what the circulating supply is right now, and I know it's a little bit below our 4.2 billion. And he wants to know like how we're going to get it up to there, and then. And he's wondering about the burning process too. So have we burned about 1 trillion tokens or something? I'm not real sure on that number, but how are we going to get down to 4.2 and work that out? Do you know a little bit about that? Or?
Sure. So yeah, I'm bringing it up on CoinGecko so I can give you an accurate number. I want to
Yeah,
make sure
I was
that
throwing some ballpark numbers out there, but
yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, no, I think you're pretty close, on that. So the circulating supply is the amount of tokens that are actually out circulating. So wallets, like for instance, the Treasury wallet, that is where the tokens, when we go into an exchange and we put more tokens into the router on that exchange, like for instance, Pancake Swap, LBank or one of those other exchanges, those tokens will come from the Treasury wallet, they'll go into the router, and they'll be available for people. At that point in time, they'll enter circulating supply. In the meantime, it's just what's in people's hands. So if you see the 4.2 billion and you think, well, we're not, that's just the circulating supply, we still have about 7 billion or so. And I actually have to bring it up to but for the sake of round numbers, we'll say, give or take, 7 billion or so, because we burned actually a little bit over 1 billion. So I think it must be like 6 something. So yeah, those that supply, as we burn it down, the total supply, and as we put tokens into the router simultaneously, it will eventually lower it down to where the circulating supply and the total supply are one and the same, besides the tokens that we have held back for like the future exchanges. Well, actually, let's just say that all those are out there. then technically all the I guess they would start to match up after a while. I'd have to go through all the wallets that I have in my brain. But yeah, they would get closer and closer. And as we burn off, the whole idea is that we burn off 4.2 billion, leaving us 4.2 billion in remaining supply because sorry, yeah, 4.2, sorry, 4.2 billion is what we're burning. 4.2 billion is what we'll have left over. Correct. Yep. So, and
is there any kind of timeline on them burnings yet, or is it just we're going to be manual as
yeah,
we go?
we've been doing it manually, and we're trying to do it to match around 2% of daily volume. The volume has been a little low. We haven't really been doing many burns lately, and we are allowing a couple more people to come in as we do burns. You know, for instance, say you own 0.5% of the total supply of WeGro, and we burn off half of the WeGro that's out there. Well, now you would actually own 1%. So the early adopters, the people who are here first, are really going to get to see that bump. But you know, the people coming in later are still going to experience all the good stuff about WeGro as well. But as a way to reward some of the people coming in, the first people, we wanted to kind of do our burn a little bit slower to allow more people coming in. But as we go on more exchanges, and as the amount of tokens in circulation start to go out there, we're going to start doing more burns and bring that circulating supply, bring the total supply down. So now's a good reason to get in as we do these burns. The percentage of WeGro that you hold of the total supply will increase.
Cool. Thank you for that information.
Mhm.
And I got another question, probably for Walt, maybe. And we've been mentioning the university coming up, so I've mentioned that out in Discord, and some people are saying, "What is the university? You know, who's it for? What kind of information is going to be there, and what have you?" So, can you fill that in a little bit for us?
It helps if I turn my mic on.
There you go.
Nice.
So that's a great question. We're getting a lot of people interested in all the content that we're developing. And interestingly enough, there's as Rachel had already mentioned, there's a lot of members on our team that we don't ever see on these AMAs. A lot of people that are working behind the scenes. You know, we're gracious enough to have you guys on with us this evening. And ladies on with us this evening, which we normally don't get to see this team in front of the camera. You know, so noting that we've got a lot of people that are working behind the scenes, working to develop content on multiple levels. So WeGro University at its core is initially focused on helping to educate the newbie, the person who is just feeling their way through this, just trying to understand what is cryptocurrency. How do I set up a wallet? How do I work on through an exchange? What are gas fees? What is WeGro? And how do we fit into the universe? And within the university, you'll find all that basic information. And then additionally, we're going to, you'll be able to find different pieces of our AMAs. And we have some other interesting stuff that we're working on to continue to grow the content inside WeGro University. It is in development. We're all of us on this call have gotten, or most of us on this call have gotten a chance to look behind the scenes and see the framing, so to speak, you know, where we are today. And we're getting ready to put the siding on the house and make it look pretty. So we are not too far away from being able to release it to the public. But in the meantime, it's also been a fantastic outlet to be able to capture some of the knowledge base that you, Jacob, Lisa, and Joe have helped funnel our way, being moderators. And you know, a good bit of the initial content that's going to be within the university is very much community driven. The most commonly asked questions, and from there, how do we not only answer them but walk you through them so that by the end of the video you feel comfortable moving on or doing whatever action is required after that. So thank you for that lead in. We're very excited about it. It's coming soon. There's going to be lots of additional tentacles and information as time moves on. We're hoping as the university grows and the knowledge base continues to expand, that we will also be adding additional smart brains to the university. There's a lot of people. We talk about this on our AMAs that only 5% of the world understands anything about this world, and that being the case, there are very limited people that have the initial seed knowledge, but it's very rapidly increasing, and it's similar in some respects. Some of that knowledge is very similar to additional other industries where people are excited to help share some of that baseline knowledge and help raise the water level for the entire industry. Again, as we're seeing on a world stage, the people are going to want to know more. People are going to want to engage with this universe more, and so we're excited about the university and hoping to be a conduit to assist in that process. So thanks, Jacob. I think Joe, you have the final mic on questions. Yeah.
Thank you, Walt. Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be a part of the AMA. I'm happy to say that I haven't missed an AMA yet. I think the first one was probably December 16th, and watching the evolution of AMA and all the things that you guys talked about early on that people didn't think were possible are now starting to emerge and are coming to fruition. So I think it's pretty amazing. And that kind of leads me to what I wanted to ask you is, as we see all these things starting to take place with WeGro, and you see marketing start to go across all social media channels, is the marketing team, is it all internal, or do you guys utilize any external marketing teams too to push the messaging that you do?
That's a great question. Again, to the point I made earlier, we've got a lot of people we don't get a chance to see every day on these AMAs. Our marketing comes from many areas, and I'll start with you, Joe, have had a lot of input. Lisa has, I've gotten things, nuggets that we're using today from Lisa. Jacob has tossed me pieces. Sean, of course, has had a lot of input over time. Todd has had his weigh-ins, and Rachel, her brilliance has dazzled me a few times as well. And that's just the people on this camera. I say that because people often talk about marketing as if it's some distant thing that gets done off in a corner and eventually somebody tosses it back over and people see it. Poof. Marketing is actually all of us. As a portion of the company we represent, we talk about WeGro, we are marketing. So it is a flag that, as a representative of the company, every single one of us carries. But interestingly enough, good job. Interestingly enough, we do have a major support agency in the name of Clint Marketing. They're noted as one of the partners on our website. So for any of the questions that have not been answered here tonight, please check out our website. And if you have further questions, I'd be remiss not mentioning, if you have further questions, please email us at info@wegrocoin.com. But specific to our marketing, Clint Marketing is located in Copenhagen, Denmark. So we are a multinational organization and coast to coast in the United States. Even just on the AMA tonight, we go from LA to Texas, again to Georgia. We're all over the place. But Clint specifically is in Denmark, and it has been an interesting partnership in many ways because of the dynamics of the understanding the global capacity of where we're heading, and having an agency that's supporting us, in a global capacity in that setting. So, additionally, we have all kinds of other support functionalities, and one of the agencies I would be remiss if I didn't mention, and Rachel will talk about a little bit later on, is our social ambassador agency named Social Toaster. And I'll leave it at that. So we have multiple pieces of our support teams that make up what is now starting to be seen by the public. And to your point, now you're starting to see, please, if you get a chance, check out Crypto Moonshots on Reddit. We're at pretty heavy on there today. A lot of people upvoting us. We'd love to see your comments and give us a shout. Additionally, we've got, okay, sorry, I'm reading questions that are going to be coming next. And then additionally, we've got some influencers that are starting to pick up everything that we're laying down. We had Colton Groves and FSX Talk on TikTok this week, and you're going to start to see more and more of the influencer community start to swell up. Those conversations have been happening at scale in the background, unbeknownst to the audiences. So you're going to start to see a lot more of that in different directions. We've got some interesting partnerships that we're talking in the background that are also going to be a part of, helping grow audiences and bring additional people into the mix, and in many ways this falls within the marketing spectrum. So lots more coming, and thanks for that question.
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up with that too. I think something as being involved with crypto that makes WeGro very unique is what I consider your accessibility. If people go into Telegram and they can tag Walt or Sean, you guys are going to jump in and you guys are going to answer questions and they're going to hear from you. They come on here every week. You guys are out here talking to the community, sharing to the community. They see your names. They go to the website. They see the same names and the same people on the same team out there all the time. So nobody's hiding behind weird emojis or fake names. It's not Wizard7. It's Walt. It's Sean. You guys are visible. You're talking to the community. You're sharing the progress, and you're living it every day. So I think that's a form of marketing that makes people feel comfortable and confident in the project.
We do our best program. We get a lot of messages in there, and when I say a lot, on the order, maybe 300 a day that are coming through on Telegram. So we do our best to monitor that as much as possible, but on some level, we wouldn't get any other work done if all we did was that. So anytime that we're needed in Telegram, I usually try to have one of the mods let me know if it's a real needed question that might need myself or Walt or Rick or one of the other team members to go in and answer. But the wonderful thing about the group that we have here is we have some wonderful moderators who can usually get most of what's asked answered. So we're extremely thankful for them and all the hard work that they've been doing, all you guys, and just really appreciative of that. And we always seek to be and always will be a forward-facing company to the community, and want everyone to feel that they can reach out to us at any time. So thank you guys for that.
It's amazing when I hear about being transparent and forward-facing and all the nice things you've said, Joe, and what you just reflected on, Sean. I always think, isn't that normal? Isn't that what everybody's supposed to be or supposed to do? So it's so refreshing when you share your appreciation, Joe, because it's people like you and Lisa and Jacob that really, I know Walt likes to talk a lot about this. And since I joined the company over 3 months ago, the strength of WeGro is our hearts and the people. I mean, yes, we had a badass business plan and a sustainable business model, and it's going to be amazing, but it's really the people that I think is the greatest blessings of the world. So I guess maybe that's not always self-evident and normal in the crypto world. What would you say about that, Joe?
No, I would agree with you. I think, many times they're not. Many times they're not, even in the same country that you may think they are. I mean, these guys are present, and I think you see diversity too. It's diversity in thought, it's diversity in backgrounds, it's diversity in education and where they are. And I think that all those people coming together makes this such a unique project that I'm excited, to share with people, and that I'm excited to even be a small part of.
Thank you. Thank you. What was the first thing that attracted you to WeGro, and what sparked your interest?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily want to say that I was attracted to Sean, but I started to develop.
That's not a bad thing.
I get it.
Started
It
to
does have a
develop
nice
a
hat.
relationship with Sean, and he and I got talking and told me his vision, and I just got really interested. And then the passion that he showed, and getting to know Walt and hearing about Rick with data, there's just so many tangents to this project that, depending upon who you talk to, you can engage people, and you just have to find their niche that brings them in, because it varies for everyone. And just talking with any of the guys all separately, and even you, Todd, and Rachel, and just getting to know Lisa and Jacob, it's just a fun community to be a part of. And to me, that's what makes crypto unique, is being part of the community and finding communities that are passionate. And you find those, and you enjoy engaging those kind of people and getting to know this team. I'm more excited every day, and I like sharing the message of WeGro and what it's all about.
That's really beautiful, Joe. Thank you so much. That, I know that I speak for everybody, that means a lot, and it's really heartfelt of you. Thank you. I'm going to pass the mic to you, Rachel. Actually, before you go into your specialty, Jacob and Lisa, what were the things that attracted you to WeGro, and is there maybe questions you wanted to answer that, or ask, I should say, that you haven't asked or shared, other anecdotes and things about your experience at WeGro?
Lisa, would you like to go first?
I'm going to let you go because I have another question to ask. So you go
Okay.
ahead first.
All right. Well, I just stumbled across WeGro on a website on Facebook, and I was asking questions about it, and nobody answered me. It wasn't on one of y'all sites; it was another site, and so I went and Googled it myself and found the website. I come back and shared the information, and it was the cannabis side of it at first, but the more you dig, man, it's just bigger and bigger and bigger, and you got so many amazing people involved, and it's just it's a big long-term investment for me, and like I said, I'm honored to be a part of it in more than one way. So,
Love
yeah.
it.
That's awesome. So you found out about us through Facebook initially, and then your own searching and mission to get the truth.
Yep. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Lisa, talk to us.
Actually, I have known Sean for a very long time, so I've heard about this for quite some time. Kind of decided, I've seen so many of his projects that haven't failed, so I was like, well, then I got to get on board of this. Him and Walt both walked me through every question imaginable. When we talk about WeGro University, there's so many of us on here who are totally new at crypto and haven't forgotten it. I joke that, my first buy, I was like practically crying because I'm like, I don't understand how to get this wallet set up to this over here to Pancake, and I don't get it. So, there was that. And then, I ended up on the mod group just because I get up really early. And it's amazing back in December when this first started, how much spam was happening at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And I sent Sean a message just saying, hey, if you want, I'll clean it up if you give me the access. And well, here I still am. And, we've got I think we got a great team. I know Jacob, Joe, and myself spend quite a lot of time having side chats about what's going on and knowing whose strength is what, and who stands where. So it's just been a great experience, a great team watching everybody grow. And, Todd, you were talking about when Joe had mentioned how transparent we are, and, to actually see everybody's faces and they actually line up with everything. And you were like, isn't that how it normally is? But no, when you think about the social media world, everybody's got a fake name, they've got a fake picture, and, where are they? And I think that's one of the things that sets us so far apart, is that it shows that we're real. We're really into this. We're putting ourselves out there saying, here I am, this is it. And it just keeps it real.
That's awesome. That's really beautiful. Thank you, Lisa. And everybody, for those that don't know, Lisa does an amazing job at getting over all of the business opportunities, people who are exchanges, other AMA groups, shill groups, influencers, you name it. She sends them over to me and Rachel, and then we get them over to Walt and Taylor and Sean. And your hard work in doing that is actually leading and has led, and Walt, keep me honest, I think to at least a couple of new relationships that we're in the process of embarking on, because you were able to bird dog and professionally get them over to the business side of WeGro. So hats off to you, Lisa, for that. Thank you very, very much.
Happy to do so.
Yeah. So now, finally, Rachel, you have some wonderful stuff, exciting stuff to talk about. I now know what you were talking about in the message box. So yeah, social toaster link. Thank God. And I'm gonna let you handle that and take it away and lead us home, Miss Rachel.
Well, first of all, I want to give a big shout out to two of the best new employees ever at WeGro. Walt, do you want to introduce my favorite two employees that just started in the last week? I will. Karis Townsend and Abby Sklar. Amazing. Walt, they're personal friends of mine. I can't help it. They're amazing. Walt, tell us how much they've dazzled even within the week.
Oh, we are extremely excited to have them on the team. Yeah, I'm speechless, quite frankly, because the amount that they both assisted in just the short amount of time that they've been here has been immense, and I can't imagine what that's going to allow us to do as we move forward. So we're very excited about them joining the WeGro family.
I think they're going to be a great add. I'm just super excited about it. But on to other people who might want to participate. So if you're listening to these three moderators and thinking, gosh, I wish I could do that, we've got something for you. We actually have an ambassador program and it's building out. We built it out and actually launched it about a week ago. And as I said before, we don't just have an Excel spreadsheet where Rachel chooses her favorite person to win a prize. We actually did a business model with a company called Social Toaster, and that's all they do is build these loyalty programs. So I have the website here and I'm going to say it out loud. And then if someone could put it in that, well, I'll put it in the chat. So it's HTTPS, as it always is, WeGro with no W. So that's WEGRO. So one W, WEGRO .socialtoaster, like you're making bread.com. So again, that's WeGro.socialtoaster.com. You can sign up for the ambassador program. You'll see some points you can earn right away. And then Abby Sklar, new hire, and I are talking about putting together some different competitions. One might be put your favorite video together, your 30-second explanation of whatever it might be, reflections. Maybe Jacob's going to sing a song. I don't know, but we're going to choose the people who are able to communicate the message of WeGro in whichever vein they choose. And then we're going to probably, with their permission, put them on our university too, because we think it's important for WeGro to not just be us all the time. We want you guys on there too. Everyone knows we're going to be like, we're amazing because it's us, but we need more people to say we're amazing who aren't necessarily us. And we're going to be doing more and more of that. Look for more invitations. March 15th, which is about 2 weeks from today, we're going to do a happy hour and we're going to find out who everyone is and what they like to do. So with that said, we'll have people who can teach you if you don't know about crypto, who are already in the ambassador program, or if you're like, gosh, I don't really understand the data collection piece, someone on there will be able to explain that too. So we're all going to educate each other in a way that makes it very organic and very much keeping in the family feel that I appreciate about WeGro. So more to come, but please look on our website and I'll put it in the chat while we're talking. But everyone is invited, no one is turned away, and it's just a fun way to have community and even make some money or prizes. Did I miss anything? I don't think so.
No.
That sounds super fun to me.
I have a question for you that's come up a few times in some of the chats. We have a lot of people who are excited about the ambassador program and they want to join. But then when they get to the Social Toaster site, they kind of feel that it's asking a little too much information and that they're giving away their ability to control their own personal information.
I think that's
Can any of you
fair.
address that at all?
Yeah, so I think that's a fair question. And to be honest, and it's so interesting to see other perspectives. Because for me, when I built it out, I was like, well, I just kind of want to find out what I can to make sure we position the program appropriately for the people who are signing up. So yeah, there is a little bit of let me get to know you a bit information being asked. And I will find out if those are mandatory, because I don't think they are, but really it's not so that I can like track you down and tell your employers where you're up to. It's so I can go like, oh gosh, we already have 20 people using Telegram. I really need a few more Facebook users because no one's using Facebook. And by the way, the Facebook post should not look like the Telegram post. It's a whole different demographic and audience. So that's where I'm going with this, is we're just trying to personalize the experience. But certainly if you feel weird about it, I would want to know that, and we can probably adjust that or just tell you don't have to fill that part out.
Thank you.
Of course.
It's a great question. I want to say I was on the early meetings, not the most recent meetings, and Walt, please weigh in if you don't mind. I think the main reason why we would ask for more information that maybe, let's say, a typical crypto advocate or anonymous social media person would say, gosh, they're asking for all this information, is that we want to build a relationship with you in the same way that you talked about how WeGro is transparent and forward facing. We're looking not to say, hey, go do some work for us, but we want to build a long-term relationship. And that means, gosh, here's a newsletter, maybe even get your ideas, maybe make a phone call, invite you to a party, maybe come to the WeGro concert to go see the Davison brothers in the spring. These are some of the main motivating factors of why we chose Social Toasters. So Walt, would you add to that? You're on mute.
Thank you. Bad habit. Yes, we have asked probably for a lot of information, probably more untypical than what the crypto universe is used to seeing. The other part of it too is that I've understood that the disclaimers at the beginning of the process have shied a few people away. And I would pay mention to that to also say the program isn't for everybody in that regard. We're trying to Rachel's point, we're trying to be as transparent as we possibly can, and that means letting you know exactly what this application is doing. But I would also urge you to read the fine print on any of the Facebook games you play, any of the contests that you play in any of your social channels. When you start playing those games, you are giving them all those same permissions. Read the T's and C's in the fine print before you start playing those games. The difference here is that we're being forward facing with you, and exactly. At the same time, the walking through this process, and that's a good point, is that walking through this process, it's also weeding out the jokers. Quite frankly, those people that are truly passionate about this process and about what we're building here as a team, and which people are quite frankly bots or not interested in really assisting and blowing wind in the sails in the direction we're headed. So thank you for bringing that up, Joe. But yeah, so again, we're trying to be as upfront with everybody as we possibly can. That includes the partners that we entrust to work with, namely Social Toaster, and that was part of the agreement, was to make sure that everything that we're doing is as transparent as possible. So again, I know it might turn some people off going through that process. It's not for everybody, but I would also urge some of those people that are getting turned off by actually seeing those disclaimers right in their eyes to read the fine print of some of the games that they've already engaged or connected to their Facebook and Twitter and social accounts, because there's probably multiples of them that are already siphoning that same information and have those same controls over your social platforms. So with that, thank you, Todd.
Yeah, no, very well said, Walt. Thank you. And again, great point for bringing up, team. Rachel, why don't you take us home? And as we think about our brothers and sisters in the Ukraine, why don't you bid us adieu? Unless they're, and I don't want to cut anybody short. I know we're a little over, but that's a good thing. It was a wonderful AMA tonight. Don't we all agree?
Yeah, it
And
was. It
so-
was great. Good
and
job,
they-
moderators.
Yeah,
Come back.
moderators, and because this is a rare occasion that we have you guys, would you all like to say any final thoughts to the WeGro community worldwide at this time?
Ooh, worldwide.
We are worldwide.
Jacob, sign us off from Texas.
Well, I don't know exactly what to say right here, but I've really enjoyed this AMA, and thanks for having us on, and it's great to not just be a part of the community, but a part of all of y'all too, man. And thank y'all so much for having us on and being a part of this. It,
Thank
And,
you. And Lisa and
thank you.
Joe, any last mentions? Otherwise, I'm going to tell everyone to have a peaceful and loving evening. Everyone put some good vibes out there for world peace, and we will see
Oh,
you
yeah.
next week.
I think that's a perfect way to end it, Rachel.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good day.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.